Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, my loves. Welcome to Maverick Baking and welcome to another chocolate review. If you're new here, my name is Kelly, and on this channel we basically deal with all things edible, whether that's easy, cute little kind of baking recipes, whether it's chocolate bar reviews like this one or food challenges. Feel free to stick around if that's your kind of thing. I hope the heat wave is treating you as well as it's treating me. My vampire skin is finally gaining some color, but I am constantly in a state of just human damp, basically. And the sweltering heat is exactly the main topic of today's chocolate review, thanks to Lindt and their new refreshing best served chilled chocolate bars. Have you heard of these? I hadn't. So I picked these up in one of the larger supermarkets here in Italy, but by the look of the fact that we have English font and we also have some German font, this must be available in other parts of the world as well. The Refreshing Lemon is a milk chocolate bar with a lemon kind of fondant ganache type filling, and the mint is a dark bar. I think we're going to get started on this lemon version and see if this best served chilled chocolate is any good. So these have been kept in the fridge since I purchased them. I took them out about 10 minutes ago just to kind of bring them to a palatable temperature, but from this we can expect Lindt's extra fine milk chocolate with a creamy lemon ganache filling. Now, Lindt, for their many faults, have been known to make a pretty decent kind of creamy milk chocolate. Their chocolate isn't faultless and is often highly overpriced for what it actually is, but I'm hoping that this surprisingly large bar is going to be worth our money. Can't say I smell lemon, but that kind of classic Lindt Lindor smell is coming through. Let me just show you that bar close up if I can. You can see we have a slightly different mold to some of their other bars, a nice little combination of that kind of matte and glossy, though I won't be ranking too much on texture in today's video because yeah. I am hoping that this will be an improvement on the Lindt Lindor bars we tried most recently on the channel, because those were nothing short of a disaster, we're being totally honest. But let's see how this Lindt Refreshing Lemon bar is. Let me just give you a close-up. As you can see, that chocolate is nice and soft, even though it has been in the fridge. Honestly, you could probably just eat this one straight from the fridge. This one is definitely still chilled, but is certainly coming to room temperature as we speak. But you do have that nice contrast between milky, creamy chocolate and that smooth ganache filling. One of the reasons I was so excited when I saw this particular bar of the two is that chocolate and lemon, it's such an underrated and underused flavor combination, but it is so good. In many parts of the world, chocolate and orange is a classic combination because the kind of zesty citrusiness works really well with the rich sweet chocolate. Teddy's chocolate orange in the UK is utterly iconic, for example, but you very rarely see lemon put to the same use, or lime or grapefruit, but they go so well together. And this bar is a perfect example of that. Don't get me wrong, it is very sweet and it is pretty rich, and because these chunks are fairly chunky, you wouldn't necessarily need to smash a whole bar to feel some kind of satisfaction here. But they really have done well, especially by Lindt standards, of getting that decent kind of mass market creamy milk chocolate flavor with vanilla, with lots of milk powder in there, but they have balanced it very well with a properly tangy lemon filling, while being sweet. It has that nice kind of punch of sourness that does make it refreshing lemon. This bar really nicely captures, for people like me, and perhaps people like you, those of us who adore chocolate, but sadly have to kind of have a little relationship break in the hotter months, because it gives you that kind of zingy refreshingness of a lemon sorbet or, you know, an ice lolly, a fruity ice lolly, with that creamy kind of rich and unique satisfaction that chocolate gives you, especially milk chocolate. It's not the highest quality chocolate, it's not the cheapest, but it's a decent sized bar and it certainly does what it's supposed to do. I'll be happy to give the Lindt Refreshing Lemon a solid 4 out of 5. Shall we move on to something even more refreshing in the Lindt Creations Refreshing Mint? So this one is a dark chocolate with a mint filling. Pretty much very similar ingredients to the previous bar, but obviously we're expecting or hoping this one to be slightly less sweet, perhaps a little bit less kind of sickly, because after 2 squares of that, I am ready to put her back in the fridge or perhaps even into the freezer. This one is perhaps a little bit less innovative in terms of flavour combinations. We know that dark chocolate and mint have been best friends for a very long time. Though I must say, this must be interesting for viewers from some parts of the world. I know in the United States, for example, that chocolate and mint is kind of considered a Christmas flavour. You know, that chocolate peppermint with the candy canes and some of those other peppermint sweets you have. It's considered like a festive December, January kind of flavour. Whereas here in Italy, ice cream with mint or ice lollies with mint, chocolate with mint, I've never seen so much as I've seen in the past couple of hotter months. It's very interesting. Let me know what mint is thought of in your home country. Anyway, there is an immediate mint smell from this. From this, unlike the previous bar, I smell literally nothing that makes me think Lindt, only mint. It smells like an After Eight, or it smells like a mint Aero bar. You can tell this dark chocolate isn't going to be particularly dark or kind of complex, but that's fine, it's not what we're looking for here. But it certainly doesn't give off chocolate as the first scent. Anyway, let's see if the refreshing mint bar is worth your money. Oh, that's very green. It's not bad, but it's certainly not something that other companies aren't doing as well as, if not better than. Let me give you a close-up. You might be able to see how kind of aggressively Ghostbusters green the inside of this filling is. I was kind of expecting, and especially from the packaging on the front, a slightly more pastel shade of green. This one's a little bit more like kids' slime video green, which isn't a problem. A mint leaf is naturally green, but it does kind of take away from Lindt's, you know, fake sophisticated marketing. In terms of the texture, the kind of creamy chocolate to soft filling is pretty much identical to the previous bar, despite the fact this is dark chocolate rather than milk chocolate. However, the flavour is just a bit kind of meh. It's nothing bad. It's fine. It tastes like mint and chocolate together, the same you would find in ice cream, the same you would find in many different brands of mint chocolate bars. I think the main thing is just that it's pretty bog standard. There's nothing really interesting or innovative, or there's nothing that would make me return to this mint chocolate over any other far cheaper mint chocolate or better quality mint chocolate in future, if I'm being totally honest. It is refreshing. It is dark chocolate. And it is minty, as it promises, but somehow in its appearance and in its flavour, it's a lot more underwhelming and feels almost cheaper and borderline childish compared to the previous flavour, which I didn't expect to say, considering the first is, you know, milk chocolate and fruit. You would think that, especially with the whole Lindt Master Chocolatier marketing thing, that their dark chocolate would be the one that we're going for slightly more sophistication with, but honestly, much like a peppermint Aero bar, this tastes and looks a bit more like kind of kid-friendly chocolate, if that makes sense. Which there's nothing wrong with, it just doesn't quite meet the standard of the first bar. If I'm being completely honest, it's so middle of the road, I can give this bar nothing more or less than a 3 out of 5. Today's review has been one that has been slightly more pleasant than other Lindt experiences in previous months and years. They're a company that is very, very good at some products. At a very creamy, sweet, milky chocolate, they're pretty decent. If they were to focus on being luxurious in terms of the texture of their milk chocolate, of the kind of sweet, milky comfort of their milk chocolate, for example, I think that they would be better representing what it is that they do and create as a company. They push a bit too hard into the high quality, luxury, almost elitist kind of marketing, especially when it comes to this mint bar, which tastes almost like every other mint chocolate bar I've ever eaten. And therefore, I'm not tempted to spend €2.50 picking something like this up again, when for the same quality, I could buy something half the price. Whereas this bar is something that is a little bit more innovative in terms of flavour combinations from Lindt or from any other kind of major companies. And I do like the concept of the best served chilled chocolate, especially in warmer climates or in warmer seasons. It's something a little bit festive and fun, where we get a lot of that kind of stuff for religious holidays or for winter. It is nice to see a kind of summery chocolate invention. And on that basis, while I would recommend this, it doesn't mean that every single version is going to be a winner. Unless you're just an absolute slut for milk chocolate, which I totally understand. If you have tried either of these Lindt chocolate bars or any other kind of, cold chocolate bar, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know if this is becoming more of a thing as our climate hurtles towards sudden death. But I'm afraid that is all I have time for today, guys. I need to run and put these back into my fridge before they turn into a smoothie, and I need to go and sit in front of a fan for an inordinate amount of time. I hope the weather is treating you well wherever you are and you have blue skies just like we do. I hope you're having a wonderful summer so far. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I truly do appreciate it, and I will see you for the next one.